It's a common thing that we do with horses, and it's maintenance. We talk about it today. So, what does it mean to float a horse?
You can swim a horse. You can float them.
Kind of where my head goes. If people don't know any better, they're like, "You what? You put floaties or a noodle under their arms, or what's going on here?"
Yeah, little duckies under each leg.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, yeah, just it's basically taking them to the dentist or having the dentist
Yeah.
come to them and because horses' teeth continue to grow. They're
Which
not like ours where they grow and then they get worn down. They get worn down, but they continue to grow throughout their lifestyle or
and you
lifetime.
you helped film a video last year,
Yeah,
late last summer. That you had a doc that you said kind of like the hay deal. We've had occurrences where you just kind of leave they leave the bill, they show up, they do the thing, and then
yeah.
you pay them in the mail and you never really meet them. And you said for what, 10, 15 years, you've
Oh
never met the
no,
guy in person.
it would have been 25 years probably at
Okay.
least.
So we're looking two and a
Maybe,
half
yeah.
decades. He's been your horse dentist,
Yep.
and you finally met him in 2023 and helped him float my brother's horse, Mountain Man,
Mhm.
and took care of him. And it was a quick job, and you helped film and kind of help show people what it is, to make sure he's okay, especially in the winter time, because that's when it really impacts him. But just
Yeah. No,
thought that was kind of funny.
we did 4 or 5 horses that day. One of them was yours as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's just kind of the relationship we had. He worked with a vet that was a really good vet that we trusted, and she's passed on. But she got me in touch with him. I said, "Hey, who's a good equine dentist?" Because you kind of think you're just going to a dentist or a vet, and you don't have to. There's guys that will actually specialize in that and are very very good. And he does an exceptional job, and he's learned it. He's went to school. He's not a vet. He's not a doctor, but he's just a equine dentist in a way you might want to put it. Those terms, but um, very very good. Takes the hooks off of the horse. Well, a hook is when it's a sharp point on a tooth because it gets ground down. They continue to grow, and it'll cause them some soreness in their mouth if they can't chew right or get into that groove and they can't chew correctly. And they take those down and smooth out, even out their teeth, and it's a big old raspy thing that's called a float. So that's what you do. Sometimes you see a horse that's maybe ailing a little bit or dribbling their feed, and it's particularly when they get a little older. Um, have that done, and a lot of times it'll straighten things out. Sometimes behavior problems, they'll start pulling that jaw back or forward, just depending on how they're working. They have some tenderness at the pole or on their face and their jaw, and it can cause some behavior issues. You straighten that out with floating in their teeth, and they can help. So those are kind of extreme cases, but the measures are the same.
Well, just a little bit of time left. I think one takeaway that I took with that video too is I'd never personally seen that, and kind of the contraption he used to keep the mouth open, and then you see that it it's not a gentle way about taking care of the animal, but you look at it almost like how we've taken care of wounds in the past, where you got to be a little rough with debris some of that
Yeah.
extra skin and the scabbing and getting it out of there so that the wound can heal. I kind of looked at it as the same way as like it's not gentle, but it's definitely something that's useful, and it's for the betterment of the animal for sure.
Yeah, and to say you never saw it, you had when you were a little guy, we
Right.
had some teeth, but you didn't remember, so
No.
yeah, I get it. Um it's one of those that it's not painful for them. It's just uncomfortable, I guess,
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of nerve endings on those teeth, but you got a big old noggin there that when you bang on something, it reverberates in their
Yeah.
sinuses. So you can imagine how that would feel.
Well, that is how to float a horse.